Character Design Review Episode 1. Hello there, I'm here to do design reviews of the FanPro project thing, where a bunch of people submitted in designs as well, or they invent their own headcanons about them because you're only given a design, and that's it, that's all. Niche Nash Nosh. Let's move along and check out on number 1. Is Captain Generic to the no ninth degree, beside for the weird and bizarre color palette. And I actually do see some weird color palettes over years, but I'm not saying a whole lot. But at the same time, a very good starter design to begin with. Even if he looks a kind of bit on the generic side and somewhat bit normal looking. But hey, at least he has a lot more personality in terms of color palette. It's very unique and leans to a more earthy tone, if you know what I mean. So, I'll talk to you about what my interpretation on his character, if you call it such, and other things. His design ranks about a 3, I guess, since it's a good start design for the most part, but he gets outflashed by everything else, you know, including the next design up. His backstory is that he is a hardworking man who can befriend people very easily and stuff like that. And he's a bit on the weird side in terms of hobbies, like he into collecting weird looking shells that look like body parts and stuff like that. And his characterization is that he's a rather cheery fellow with odd hobbies here and there, into helping people, and pretty much he works as a preschool assistant for his job, and he's very good at befriending people and knowing what to do about them and stuff like that. And he had no special powers at all. He is an incredibly average person with an incredibly average nature, not in terms of his hobbies. Number 2 here is fairly interesting design, mostly due to having a very good color scheme, a definite silhouette, and definitely a far more interesting design. Let's break that down. The color palette is a lot more concise than, say, number 1's color palette, due to it using a lot more unifying colors, with the use of blue, purple, and greens to make a very pretty color scheme, and other stuff like that. Her general design seemed to be a very interesting one, since her lower half, her legs in particular, seem to be look like sort of like prosthetics. So, are they really or they just really weird looking shoes? For the most part, her silhouette is very strong looking and other stuff like that. Since, due to how it looks from the most part in regard to her general clothing pattern, it does allow for very strong appearance, to per se least. So, time to move on and talk about my own interpretation on the character. And also, her general design ranks around 4 out of 5. This is my interpretation of the character of number 2 here, since she is a very interesting design. So her general backstory is that she's somebody who practices with physical rehab people and other things like that. And she's friend with the number 1 as well with number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. And number 6, sort of, since he's more of a recent fellow, you know. As well, she had the ability to apply a bounce effect to any object that she touches. This allows the thing to be able to bounce anything in their general area. Biggest problem with it that she can't control how much strength gets put into it. Sometimes you might find yourself ricocheting off very hard things and sometimes getting yourself injured because of that. It doesn't have any uses. So let's move on to the next thing, number 3. This is number 3, and she have a pretty frankly good looking design, lots on color scheme. So let's get into it. Her color palette is amazingly well done due to it using mainly muted colors with a few flashes of bright, which is in form of the purple, and very good at harmonizing her earthy, mysterious feel to her, or him. It's really hard to say what's on these guys, you know. Her silhouette had very strong use of soft shapes to it to give it more of a flowy look, which did not account for the fact that it probably may have not have any arms or legs or anything along the lines, but hey, it at least works. And other things, and my rating for this design is a 5 out of 4. You know? Let's move along to my headcanons for this. She is from a desert, which is very well known for being incredibly white and bright. For your information, as well, her powers are basically the ability to manipulate a form of pre-existing sand since she cannot create on her own. Plus, she will have to ball it up if she wishes to use it and stuff. Plus, she does not possess any form of arms. Fortunately, you use her feet more often than not. This is not a problem due to various reasons. Plus, she have a job as a witch, as in literal witch, which she had the most powerful aura control throughout the whole thing, not account for any of my own mechanical characters and stuff like that. So, time to move on to number 4. Number 4 is here. Let's talk about its overall color scheme, which consists of a gray, blue, red, and yellow, which is very pleasing to the eye, as well other things. Please note that just because a character has white skin does not make them automatically a Caucasian person. It actually means they are designed to be aracial in mind. I kind of wish it didn't go with pure white skin because it's going to add to a lot of misinterpretations and stuff. So let's move on to the general silhouette. The silhouette is very blocky due to the general blocky nature of the whole entire look to it in regards to things. The only curving object that is on there would be his headphones, and not accounting for his weird dangly triangle things, which add a bit of motion to it if you were to move around a bit. And we can move on to my headcanons for this character. My headcanon for number 4 is that he had the ability to make things spin around in a circle. Plus, you can control the velocity and the placement of the spin. That means you can technically use it to break bones and other things, but he really doesn't. Well, that's not what his thing is. That he's a professional breakdancer, that he's also friends with, also brothers with the aforementioned number 1 here. And he's kind of a jerk. And And that's all it for this time. So see you for next show. For next episode, I mean.